Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the live Tash Talks show. Let's give a little bit of insight what's going on behind the scenes. Well, we've been traveling this week. We've spent some beautiful family time over in Ireland, which was so fun. Santiago just absolutely freaking loved it. We got back last night. So we had a very tired Santiago this morning and off we went to nursery. And I'm really excited. I love the fact that I get to do my work and travel. Like my business, it's part of my life. It isn't my life. Okay. Like I don't believe in creating a business where you're chained to your desk and that's where you've always got to do your work. I'm like, no, like you create a business to create, enhance your life and freedom of the mind, freedom of your bank balance, freedom of your soul, like freedom location wise. So I love the fact that I can be away serving my clients, brainstorming, still creating social media, speaking to my team. Like that to me is so important. I wanted to create a business that I literally could pick up and bring anywhere. This isn't about me having 3 days off work because I needed a holiday. Like this is about my business is my life and it all intertwines, which is so beautiful. And it's really something I'm so glad that this kind of happened this week, because in this week's training that we're doing today, which is the second training of Launch Like a Boss, is where I really teach you all about selling. And I get these DMs all of the time, like, Tash, you sell without selling. And I'm like, this is what I teach you. I feel like selling gets such a bad rap of like, it's kind of cold selling. It's like you're selling something to somebody that they don't want, and which is rubbish because you're actually solving your audience's problems. You have the solution. So it's like, let's say you had the solution for the common cold, okay? How many millions upon millions lives would change if you had the remedy, the solution for the common cold? But you're like, no, I'm not going to put that out there because if I do, people are going to be like, oh, look at her. She's showing off. She's selling us the remedy again for the common cold. It doesn't make sense. Yet we feel this and we take these beliefs on when it comes to selling your services, selling your solutions to your audience's problems. I always think about if someone was like, oh no, do you know what? I'm really good at Spanish, but I'm not going to sell the fact that I teach Spanish. I'm not going to do that. Where would I be in my life? I wouldn't be able to speak Spanish because there wouldn't be things like Spanish apps. There wouldn't be like my Spanish tutor. There wouldn't be the group programs that I'm in for Spanish. If people were so scared to like, oh, I actually am really good at Spanish and I can teach you how to speak Spanish, right? No. But do you think about a flight that I've just got on? The flight companies don't go, oh no, we've sold too many flights this week, not going to sell it. Natasha's just got off a flight. I'm not going to send her another email about how she can get onto this flight and fly to Rome and the Maldives. And no, not going to do it. Not going to do it because it's just too much, too icky. Do you think they're thinking that? Do you think they're thinking that? No. So nor should you. So I feel like this is what traveling does to me. It inspires me. So many downloads come through and I'm like, oh, that would be good. Oh yeah, that feels good. That feels good. That feels good. So I'm really excited for training too. If you're not part of Launch Like a Boss, then I'll leave the link inside of the Facebook group for you to jump on in. It's a 4-week program. The first one was where I teach you all like the launch strategy, my launch plan, how to launch very differently. And it'll be very different to anything that you would have learned before, because I've done I've tested all of the methods. I've invested huge amounts into coaches and mentors and programs and all of that, so that I could learn what works. And most importantly, what feels freaking good. Do you think I could have, before the old Tash of a launching method, be traveling to Ireland and still making sales in my business? No, because I would have been conditioned to think, no, I've got to be here and it's got to be structured and I've got to do this and I've got to do that. And it's like, as soon as you do all of that, that's where the resistance comes from. And you don't want that. You want to have a business that feels freaking good, right? So I've been busy doing that. So and if you cannot make the live calls, it doesn't matter. The only reason I do it live is it's the way I choose to run my business. I love to do that. So if you want to, you can hop onto the live. And if you don't, you can just literally catch the replays, which go up normally 24 hours after the call. But obviously it's a Friday, so they're always in the portal on a Monday. So that's kind of what's been going on behind the scenes. Also the podcast, which I love the fact you guys asked me and DM me about that. So thank you. I'm already so excited and a little bit nervous and apprehensive. I'm not going to lie about doing it. It will be out this month. Oh, I said it. I wasn't gonna, and then I'm like, no, feel the freaking free and do it anyway. So yeah, intro done. I'm recording episode 1 today. So that's exciting. And yeah, because my brain wants to go, yeah, but you haven't done the outro yet, or you haven't done this, or like you haven't learned the software for this or this, and like, do you know that what you're going to tell the team to do? All of this is what wants to keep my brain safe. It wants to keep me back here with no podcast. And I'm like, no, I've wanted to do this for so long. I've created the time. I've set the intention. Like, yes, we're freaking going for this. Like, I know. This is so called for. And I know it's going to blow up. Like, I know it's going to be so good. So something that which I wasn't expected to riff on, but let's go. Something that I experienced this morning was some blocks around that. Was definitely a belief about that upper level. Definitely a belief around, what if it's hugely successful? What if you get this? What if this happens? What if this comes off the back of it? What if? So much came up for me through this. So I worked through that this morning, which is real. Like, this is all about you experiencing business, the behind the scenes. I'm going to have the most epic people on there. I'm going to have the most raw and real conversations. Like, I want to ask questions to my guests that are not like normal podcasts. Like, I want to, those kind of questions when you meet someone, you go, oh, I wish someone had the balls to ask it. I'm going to ask. And especially one topic that I know so many people want to know about and hear about is money, right? The energetics behind money, what changes when you make X amount of money? What was, I'm going to ask questions like, what did it feel when 100K dropped into your account? Like, I want to ask these questions for you guys, right? For us to really get into the ears and the hearts of these really successful people. So come along for this journey. It's going to be so good. But I'm freaking petrified. I'm not going to lie. I am so scared. But we move. So I am busy doing that today. So they're my 2 focuses: Launch Like a Boss and the selling content, and then my podcast. Yeah, so that's what today's intentions are, which I'm really excited about. What else is going on? That's all it is for this week. It's been a busy week, but an incredible week. I feel like my heart, my soul is completely filled up. I just love spending time with my family. Like, it's just everything. So it really does just top up my soul. And actually really emotional, because some of my cousins that I was spending time with, I have so many fond memories with them as a kid myself, going to these, these parties and these do's and being in Ireland and like so free and like running in the fields and the beaches. Like, I remember all of this, and it actually really choked me up and made me really emotional. I feel a little bit now. To see Santiago go through that and see Santiago with my cousins. And they're like, Jesus, he's the spit of you, as in like his personality. He looks totally like Michael. Well, his hair is like Michael. And then he's very much like my family name. That makes sense. So yeah, but his personality is very me. He's a party animal. Like, he loves it. Like, he's living his best life, let me tell you. So yeah, I just feel really refreshed to come back, and I get so excited to come to my office and like brainstorm up some new things. So I think this is the perfect time the podcast comes out. Okay. Right, let's freaking roll. I know we got some juicy questions for today. Now, I can't see who's watching live, and I can't see the chat box. Okay, just to let you know that. Okay, so let's go. Question 1. Also, by the way, just before I go on to this, I'd love to know your feedback on these. I love when you DM and you say to me, oh, Tash, that was so epic. Like, thanks. Like, tell me what you think. Tell me what you love about Tash Talks. Like, do you love the fact it's just raw and real? Do you love the fact it is every Friday at this time? Just give me some feedback. I'd love to hear it. Okay, question 1. How do you clear your blocks? I've tried affirmations, but they just don't seem to work to create real shifts. Okay. Correct. Now, the thing with affirmations, which are freaking amazing, by the way, like, affirmations absolutely work, and they are so powerful. The problem with affirmations is this: when we are cleared of any limiting beliefs and we add affirmations onto that, that's where they're most powerful. That's where they're really potent. Problem is with affirmations, if you're saying things like, I'm so wealthy, money is really easy to receive. Clients are flowing in with abundance. Like if you're saying these affirmations, but you don't really believe it because of the conditioning and the blocks that need to be shifted first, the affirmations are not going to work. So this is obviously what you're experiencing right now. So what I teach my clients is a 3-step method, which is called the ACI method. A, awareness. Having the awareness of what your blocks are, what those stuck limiting beliefs, those thoughts, those emotions, sensations, like what actually are they? Then we do the deep work into finding out where they've actually come from. This isn't, well, I've got a block about scaling to the next level of my business. Okay, we'll just do 20 affirmations and you're good to go. No, let's get to the bottom of what actually this is. Is this really the block that we actually need to work on? Or once we go into these deeper levels of this work, belief work, are other things coming up? For example, I had a client come to me and she was like, I just can't seem to scale to that next level and break through she couldn't break through past 15K a month. And she's been doing X, Y, and Z for like 9 months now and nothing seems to be shifting. I'm like, okay, great. Once we actually done the work, it actually wasn't about the money. What it actually came down to was her belief that if she earned more money than her sister, that it would change her relationship with her sister. So she was so scared that her relationship with her sister, she was actually self-sabotaging, because it wasn't about, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. That was a great way to stay within victim mode, okay? And I say this in the most place with absolute love. Like, we all experience victim mode. We all naturally go back to a very comfortable state of victim mode. I do it. And what's really important is the awareness that, okay, because there's a secondary gain to victim mode. When we are in victim mode, when something is very comfortable, we're like, oh, it's not working, or for example, not showing up on social media, or like, oh, I'm in pain again, or whatever these sentences that keep kind of going around in your mind and making you on repeat, making you feel the same way every single day. What we actually need to look at is where the secondary gain of that is, because it's very easy to be like, oh, the social media is not working, the algorithm is going against me. Actually, really, is it that you're scared to actually be visible, to put yourself out there? You're scared of the judgment. You're scared of not being enough. This is the key thing. So what we do is we have this belief, and I get my clients to really dig into this belief, and then we go down the levels of what it actually means. And then we work on the next stage, which is the clearance. So then what we do is we desensitize, we detach the emotion to the thought. Because once something's just a thought, like, oh, there's a cloud, oh, there's a sound of a clock. Once we literally can desensitize to that and detach from, oh my goodness, I only made £10,000 this month, which means that I'm not good enough. It means I'm always going to be stuck here. I'm never going to get past this 15K block. I've got this block and I don't seem to be getting past it. Once then you can detach away from the meaning, that's then when the powerful shifts really occur. And this is really, it's when you break it down, the process is very, very simple. Is it the most easiest? No, it's challenging. And that's why it's so important to seek help with this, and why I created, for example, my program Conscious Coach, and what I do with my one-on-one clients, to be able to actually go through these. Because then once we've gone through the clearance stage, you then need to step into that new identity. And there's going to be so many different little things that are going to come up and want to try and stop you. Comfort zone, keep where you are, stay where you are. For example, if your block is at the 15K, like what my clients was, and everything you seem to be doing, whether it be strategy, doesn't seem to be working, doesn't seem to be clearing to that, your mind isn't seeing above 15,000 as safe. So your brain is going to want to keep you safe. So if something feels scary, it's going to want to retract in, because it's scared of the unknown, which is the 15,000, what that actually makes mean about you, your life, what mind has attached that meaning to that over £15,000. So what we want to do is, instead of putting this £15,000 up here and making it really unsafe, we want to actually do the steps that make this unsafe zone come into this. So we don't retract, because it's so easy. This is when we self-sabotage. It's so easy to retract back into self-sabotage, because you're like, no, I want to stay here. Even though this isn't where you want to get there, but your mind goes back to, nope, need to keep us safe, need to go back. And then what happens Your brain is then looking for evidence of how things are not working, how the 15,000 above isn't safe for you, how you can never do that. And then your mind will go on social media and you'll see everybody else making £20,000 in 20 seconds. And then you're like, see, I'm not good enough because they're doing it. Then their client may default on a payment, or a client was going to say yes, then turns around and says no. Guess what? Your brain then goes, see, they've defaulted on their payment. It's because you're not going to go above 15K. Like, give it up. It's not going to happen. You're not good enough. If you were an amazing fill in the blank service provider, coach, mentor, then you wouldn't have clients default on payments. You wouldn't have clients say no, which is rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. I've built the business to the level that I have, and I have clients that say no. I've, had people default on payments. This is the realness of freaking business. Okay. It's the realness. It's the freaking realness of business. So anybody says these things don't happen when you get to a certain level in business, it's absolute rubbish. But the key in this is not making those things mean anything. So what we do and what I do with my clients is we change the RAS. So instead of the RAS being looking for all the things why it's not working, we switch it up and we look for all the things that are working. We're building the evidence which then helps you step into that new identity, because that new identity, which is the best version of yourself, like we all have sides, higher self, ego, inner child. This is all the stuff that I'm talking about. We dig really deep into Conscious Coach because this work's so important. I wish I knew about this work when I first started. I was so conditioned that strategy was the way forward and it was the only way to get success, that all this work kind of got sidetracked. I didn't know about this level of work. And even with the work that I'd done when I first started in my business, the mindset work, learn about morning routines and affirmations, everything I teach in like the tribe, which is incredible and so potent. But what happened was I was getting some of my limiting beliefs keep cropping up, and I'm like, why is this happening? Why? I thought I'd done this. I thought I'd done the work on this. And that's because I hadn't gone to the subconscious level. Okay, we know that we have the conscious part of the brain and the unconscious. The conscious is so smart and so savvy, and it can understand things, but it's also only 5%. Your unconscious is where your beliefs are, where your imagination is, but that's 95% of it. So if we haven't done the work to actually reprogram that unconscious part of your brain, well, guess what? It's just going to go and do the same things over and over and over and over and over and over again. So this is why this work is extremely important. So awareness, clearance, and then identity. Really kind of doing that deep inner work. Then once you've done that, and then you it's kind of like beautifully layering on affirmations that you back and you believe, because affirmations are very, very important, but you've got to believe them. Otherwise you're just spilling off, I'm so wealthy, I'm a billionaire. Your mind's going, no, you're not, I don't believe this, so it's not actually going to work. So yeah, I hope that's answered your question. If you were to start all over again, knowing what you know now, what would you do different? What would your focus be? Okay, my focuses would be this: the subconscious mind, social media, sales. Simple, 3 things. Master yourself, master that subconscious mind, and you can freaking master anything, right? Master social media. Pick your platform that works really well for you. For example, for me, it's Instagram, and master that. That's where 95% of my sales come from, is social media. And the last bit is selling. Like, selling is an art. You want to learn what exactly it is. And when I say selling is an art, I don't mean I'm going to teach you cold tactics of how to sell. I'm going to teach you when someone comes up with an objection, how to go around it. Like, that's just not my vibe. So if that's what you want, definitely don't come and work with me. That's not what I teach. What I want to teach you about what actually selling is, and how you can sell in a way that feels like this, that lean back energy, really tapping into your feminine energy. So many people think that selling's in your masculine energy. I actually disagree. I actually think it's so much in your feminine energy. And once you're able to make that shift, which is what I'm teaching in Launch Like a Boss today, once you're able to make that shift, sales feel so much easier. Once you understand what selling is and how to do it in a way that feels freaking good to you, that doesn't feel like pressure, it feels like pleasure, then that is where the whole game of your business will absolutely be changed. So they are the 3 things that I would say to focus on. Literally, make them your 3 things that you focus and master And I think sales will just become so much easier for you. Your business will become so much lighter, because business is really simple. It doesn't mean that it's easy. It's simple. So what I would say is pick your focus, master that, because they are the things that are going to move the needle in your business. Okay. Mastering yourself, the subconscious mind, the inner game, mastering social media, and mastering selling. Right. And then, of course, it goes without saying, servicing your clients. Okay. Like, don't oversell something and then under-deliver. If anything, I would say over-deliver and undersell something, give bonuses, give little extra treats if someone didn't know they were expecting that. Like, give them the most incredible experience, and then your clients will want to keep coming back to you. So they're the 3 focuses that I would say, if I was to go all and do this again, that's what I focus on. Okay, next question. I work one-on-one with my clients as a health coach, but I'm looking to scale this as I'm fully booked, yay, now till November this year. I love working one-on-one with my clients, so I would love to still have this intimate connection, but I want to help more people. What would you suggest? I would suggest a program, a group program, okay? And what I would do is I would offer different levels. Give you an example. In Conscious Coach, I've got 2 levels. I've got one, which is the program. It's got weekly group calls on Zoom, so video calls, so very intimate. And they get the content every week, and they get a private podcast feed, which got all the activations on them. Then there's the VIP option, which they get all of everything in the Conscious Coach, the standard package, plus one-on-one coaching with me. So you get an in-person meetup, you get one-on-one coaching calls, and you get Voxer support. So that's the one-on-one package. So I think lean into this, okay? If this feels good, if this has given you your body excitement, if you're feeling something and it's like energized your body a bit, then I'd say this is absolutely for you. Because you mentioned about how you want an intimate connection, however amazing an online group course would be, you won't have that intimacy. You won't have those video calls. You won't have that Voxer support. So same very much with the membership site. It's more about your scaling to more people, unless you made it more of a mastermind vibe. That could be another suggestion for you. So I would definitely look and lean into this and feel if this feels like it excites you and you can get your energy behind it and it's like making you go, ooh, yes, I like the sound of that, then lean into that and I would execute this as a group program. Okay. I know I'm experiencing an upper limit block, which is very exciting, but equally challenging as my head and heart are fighting. What would you suggest that I focus on? I would say just stop for a moment. Just stop. Just put your hand on your heart and just take a nice deep breath in with me. And exhale out, thinking the word release. And I just want you to step outside yourself for a moment. And I want you to pretend that you are floating. And you're floating up above your body. So it's kind of like you've got a bird's eye view of your reality and you're looking down at it, okay? And I want you to zoom out of what the movie that you can currently see as a bird's eye view. I want you to zoom out. And as you zoom out, the visual of you standing there is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And now what I want you to do is I actually want you to zoom in and focus on the feeling of it being done. So what you are experiencing right now with this block, I want you to see this block as melted, as cleared, as gone, right? How are you feeling now? You've hit you've hit the next level. You've activated it, okay? Tap into those feelings of what you are feeling right now. And I want you to look at what action did she take, your higher self. What action did she take? And I want you to allow yourself to talk to her, to hear from her. Let her show you signs. Let her come through you when you're journaling. Ask her a question, then just literally just wait there with the pen to get the answer. I want you to get out of your head and back into your heart. I want you to hear her. I want you to feel her. And then once you've tapped into those emotions, then you take that action as if you are their higher self, as if you've tapped into it, you've blended, you've aligned. So everything that you wanted to experience is done. It's clear. You're there. You're experiencing it right now. Now look at what action she took to get her there. And then you literally take that same action. That is what I would do. I just feel called to tell you that you need to get out of your head and you need to get back into your heart. And then I feel things will start to unfold with you. Sometimes what we do is we get so busy in the doing. We're all guilty of it. We get so busy in our masculine energy. We get so consumed in the strategy. We get so warped into thinking a certain way because we're seeing everybody else do it this certain way. And we're seeing social media promote this and promote this. And there's a new funnel and there's another Facebook ad. And there's that, try this new marketing technique. And then, oh, I need a group and I need a Voxer and I need a this. And it all becomes too much. And what happens is you get so swayed by everybody else that you're actually forgetting what you desire, what your higher self is trying to tell you and her message, because that is your alignment. That's you stepping into your higher self who knows the answers, because everything that you desire right now in another quantum field has already been done. Your higher self has already achieved that, has already lived that. So she's there to guide you. She wants to support and serve you. But if you're so busy in your head and the doing, you can't listen to her. She can't give you the answers. Okay, and understand this, it's very, very normal to have an upper limit block. Okay, we all go through those. And I love the fact you said in your question, it's exciting. Yes, it is. It is. It shows you that your next level is literally in touching distance. And how amazing is that? So keep hold of that belief instead of like, oh, I'm still stuck here, I haven't found the answers yet, this strategy's not working, still seem to have this block, I'm self-sabotaging. Just let go of that for a moment and really just tap into the, I am in touching distance of this next level. Like, this is so exciting. And think about everything that you have achieved already in your business, in your life, that you used to journal about, that you used to visualize about. You've manifested, you've made happen. Before my son was even an idea, I remember I used to journal about, I wanted to build a business that created freedom. I wanted a business where I didn't have to ask to use the toilet. I wanted to have a business where it wasn't based on how I looked or what size my body was, because I used to get measured every week. I wanted a business that changed people's freaking lives with what I had to say, with what I had achieved, with how I'm going to teach. Right? That's why I love teaching so much. That's why it set something literally on fire inside of my soul, teaching Launch Like a Boss, because it's been a while since I've done teaching live. And I'm obsessed with it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I freaking love it. I love teaching. I love going, listen, I know you're struggling with this. Join this program, join this course, join whatever it is, because I'm going to teach you how to get here. Because I get so excited about how far I have come, what I've been able to help my clients do. And I'm like, okay, you need struggling with selling, get into Launch Like a Boss. Right, you don't know a launch plan, get into Launch Like a Boss. Okay, this isn't working for you and it's too up in your head, get in. I love being able to offer that solution. So I feel that we can get so in our head sometimes when it comes to us reaching this next limit. Activating this next level of success. But know this, the desires are there for a reason, and it's because they're yours, and you're meant to have these desires. Like, they are meant, that's the reason why they're on your heart, because they're here, they're coming, right? They're already, your higher self has already experienced it or experiencing it right now. So all we need to do is just literally be an energetic match and kind of match that energetic difference. And by doing that isn't more strategy. It's the inner work, it's the inner game. And if you are really wanting to focus on that, then DM me and I can put you on the wait list for Conscious Coach. Don't know when it's going to start yet. Roughly, probably maybe September. But I don't know any details for that. But if you do want the details and want to be one of the first to know, then just drop me a DM and I'll put you on the wait list for Conscious Coach. But this work is so powerful and so potent. And I have seen, wow, the biggest transformation in myself, and also now my clients, being able to see them transform so much more quickly and rapidly. And not that it's about speed, because it's not. But compared to the things that they were experiencing before and struggling with, once then you do this inner work. And one thing I do want to share is this is an ongoing process. So if you think you're going to reach six figures, multi 6, 7, and think that then there's no more work to do, the work is done. Sorry, my darling, it's not. It's never going to be done. It's always a work in progress. And that's why it was important to me to make Conscious Coach lifetime access, because all of my new teachings and learnings, I want to then keep delivering to you so that you have a place to kind of keep going back to. That's so important to me. And I wanted to make this your go-to. Go to the podcast, go to do the work. Okay, you've got a limiting belief come up. Let me do an activation. Let me go through Natasha's belief busting system, right? So that when these things pop up, you then know how to deal with them. And that's why I wanted to make it not a like, oh, it's a 6 weeks program and that's it. You lose access and it's done. No, I'm here to support you. Pay once and get it for lifetime. Like, yes, freaking yes. So I hope you have enjoyed today's live session as much as I have. I love over delivering for you guys. I love answering your questions and I love being live and seeing you guys watch the replays. Now, of course, I love your feedback. So please do drop into my DMs and tell me what you enjoy about Tash Talks, what you'd like to see more of. Yeah, I'm so open to feedback. I love it. The podcast will be coming very soon. If you're on my email list, you'll be the first to know when it actually is being dropped. But I'm very, very excited, as I mentioned, nervous as well, but we move. And if you do want the link to come and join today's training, which is all about selling in Launch Like a Boss, then DM me the word boss and I'll send you the link. Go and have the most epic, amazing day because you are a freaking badass.